Okay, second half of radical equations. This is going to be even more fun. So what have we learned so far? Radical equations are the same as other equations. We just use inverse operations to undo what is being done. And the first step is to isolate the radical. In other equations, remember it was to isolate the variable? Well, that's the whole point. That's what we want to get, at the end. We want to isolate the variable, right? We want to isolate the radical. Get it alone on one side. And we've learned these are not that difficult. So what if we have a square on both sides? Well, that's easy. Square them both, right? Whatever you do to one side, you can do to one side. You got to do it to the other side, right? The square root of n plus 10 squared is n plus 10. The square root of negative 6 minus n is negative 6 minus n. Yeah, easy beans, huh? Plus 6 minus n, negative 2n, 16, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2, and n equals negative 8. So that's negative 2, right? Let's see. Negative 8 plus 10 equals 2. Negative 6 minus negative 8 equals 2. So now we ended up with the square root of 2 on both sides. If we go back to prove it, check it. Let's try this one. They're both square roots, so we're just going to square them both, right? X plus 6 equals 4x minus 3. We just get rid of those square roots. Minus x plus 3. 9 is 3x, so 1x is 3, right? Okay, so if we go back up here, the square root of 3 plus 6, the square root of 9, that is, right? And over here, 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 3 that's the square root of 9 as well. Yep, we've proved it. This is the answer. Okay? So those are easy enough. But what if there's a variable on one side without a radical and we can't just simply square them both? What do we have to do? Well, actually, we do have to start by squaring them both, don't we? In order to get rid of that square root. Now we have negative 12 plus 7x equals x squared. Oh, this is looking to me like we're going to end up with a quadratic, right? So I'm going to make this side 0. I'm going to jump the fence. X squared minus 7x plus 12 equals 0. Now what can I do? How are we going to solve this? We're going to have to factor it, aren't we? Negative 7. 12 times 1 is 12. Negative, positive. They're both negative, right? What do you think? How about 4 and 3? Negative 4 plus negative 3 is negative 7. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. So we have 0 equals x minus 4 times x minus 3, right? We set these both to 0. X minus 4 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. X is 4. X is 3. Now let's check them though. Let's make sure that we have the right answers. You always have to check these. So we got the square root of negative 12 plus 7 times, let's use a 4 first, 4 equals 4. Okay, let's see, what's 7 times 4? 28. Negative 12 plus 28 equals 4. Let's see, what's negative 12 plus 28? 16. Is the square root of 16 4? Yep, so the 4 works. Okay, let's try the 3. We'll change colors again. Square root of negative 12 plus 7 times 3 equals 3. Okay, so now we got the square root of negative 12 plus 21 equals 3. What's 21 minus 12? Square root of 9 equals 3. Is that true? Yep. So 3 works as well. So there are 2 solutions to this. 4 and 3. That's a 3, not a 5. Does that make sense? Okay, let's try this one. I'm going to start off by squaring them both. What the heck? Okay, so x squared. Now we know that this is going to be negative 20 plus 9x. Let's jump the fence with both of these. We're going to jump the 9x and jump the negative 20. X squared minus 9x plus 20 equals 0, right? Go to factor them. Negative 9, positive 20. This is positive, that's negative. That means they're both the same and they're both negative. How about 5 and 4? Right? Okay, so x minus 5 equals 0. X minus 4 equals 0. So this one means x is 5, x is 4. Let's try them both. Let's change colors. So we got 5 equals the square root of negative 20 plus 9 times 5. 9 times 5 is 45. Negative 20 plus 45 is 25. Does 5 equal the square root of 25? Yes, so we know 5 is a solution. Okay, let's try 4. Should we change colors again? 4 equals the square root of negative 20 plus 9 times 4. Let's see, 9 times 4, 36. Negative 20 plus 36 is 16. Does 4 equal the square root of 16? Yes. The solutions are 5 and 4. That was a little clearer than the last one, isn't it? Okay, let's try another one. I'm going to go ahead and square them both sides, right? P squared, and I'm just going to jump these right over because we know this is going to go away when we square it, right? So negative p is going to become positive p. Positive 30 is going to become negative 30, and that's all going to equal 0. So now I can factor it. I have negative 30, and down here I have positive 1. So they're going to multiply to a negative. They're going to add or subtract to a positive. Positive and negative, right? So what subtracts to 1 but multiplies to 30? 6 and 5. Yeah? Okay, so p plus 6 equals 0. P plus minus 5 equals 0. Yeah, let's erase that. You can't. Ugh. P minus 5 equals 0. Okay, this becomes P equals negative 6, and this becomes P equals positive 5. You see that? Because we subtracted 6 here, minus 6, positive 5, right? Let's check them, see if we got the right answers. Okay, so let's start with the negative 6. Negative 6 equals the square root of 30 minus negative 6, because there's our p right there, right? And the p was negative. So negative 6 equals the square root of 30 plus 6, 36. Negative 6 equals the square root of 36. Is that true? No, it's not true. The square root of 36 is positive 6. So this solution is extraneous, we call it. I don't even know how to spell this. Extraneous. It doesn't work. Let's try the 5. Okay, so where was I? We were going to try the 5, right? 5, let's change colors again. How about this blue? Oh, that's going to be really hard to see, that blue. 5 equals the square root of 30 minus 5. Well, 30 minus 5 is 25. Is the square root of 25 5? Yes, it is. So that means our only solution here is 5. The 6 didn't work, right? It was extraneous. Okay, last one for now, and then we'll do a little bit of practice, right? Square both sides. Square, square. Square takes care of the square root. So we got 42 minus x equals x squared. Jump the fence with these guys. X squared plus x minus 42 equals 0. Okay, we've got positive 1 minus 42. Let's see. What multiplies to 42 and subtracts to 1? How about 7 and 6? Okay, so x plus 7 equals 0. X minus 6 equals 0. X is positive 6. X is negative 7, right? Now let's check them and see if they work. The square root of 42 minus negative 7 equals negative 7. 42 minus negative 7. Bam, bam. The square root of 49 equals negative 7. No, it doesn't. It equals positive 7. This is extraneous. It doesn't work. Let's try the 6. The square root of 42 minus 6 equals 6. What's 42 minus 6? 36. The square root of 36 is 6. Yep. So there's our answer. It's 6. X equals 6. 6. 7 was extraneous. It didn't work. Now you see why I say you have to check the answers, especially on these. Ready for a little practice? Good.